that are cultivating
All right,
hemp.
now
We
it's
have farms
recording. It's
like
like I
mine
couldn't
that aren't
get the
even an
button to
acre
work
cultivating
because it won't
hemp.
connect to Facebook.
And for me,
So
being
I
able to
can't,
sell
like,
my
get it to
artisanal
connect to the
product
Bluetooth,
to
so.
somebody that's going to put it directly in the
okay.
hands of the consumer is the difference between, at a conservative estimate, $70 an ounce and $70
I don't know how to
a
tell.
pound.
It's on,
And
but I
for
can't
me, that's
figure
the
out where
difference
to,
between
like,
having a family farm
where would it say
and
it?
not having a family farm. And we're not the only ones who are in this situation. When MDAR came and inspected
Right,
our
so I
tiny
see,
little
like,
farm,
the-
they
like
said,
the
"What are you
three
going to do with
little
it?" And we said,
wave
"Oh, we're going to
things,
process
you know what I mean?
it
But
for,
it
for
doesn't
personal
say
use."
it's
He said,
connected
"Even
to
if you're doing
sites
it
or
for
anything, and I
personal
don't know
use,
how to.
you need to have a
If
processing
I
and
click over,
manufacturing
if I go
license."
over to the
So we got a
settings,
processing and manufacturing
into,
license.
like,
And on
internet
that
or whatever,
license,
I
we
can check there, but
enumerated
is it gonna
everything
stop
we could
recording if
possibly
I
think of that
minimize
we would be
the
doing with our hemp
application?
crop. We were going to make tinctures, we were going to make
Okay,
infused
so I
edible
don't, I'll
products,
just record it.
we were going to
So,
infuse
yeah.
directly
So-
into coconut oil, we were going to make topicals, you know, the whole range of it, because again, you know, that artisanal product is what we feel we have to offer. And we got our license approved. And then within 2 months of getting our license approved, I happened to get an email from MDAR basically saying that every single product that we need to be able to sell in order for our farm to grow, in order for our farm to be able to succeed, was suddenly off the table. And on top of that, these policies created a lot of ambiguity. So we knew where it was going to hurt us, and then there's also all of these things that we don't really understand. And we're having a hard time, at this point, getting clarity on them. And I work with the Northeast Sustainable Hemp Association, so I know a lot of farmers and small processors and small retailers who are all in this same situation. And let me be clear, there are only small farms growing hemp in Massachusetts. There is no big agro growing hemp in Massachusetts. And up until a week ago, we weren't able to grow on APR land or 61A land, and our legislators did what they had to do in order to give farmers access to grow hemp on that land. And if you're not a farmer or you're not a lawyer, what that basically means is our legislators empowered hemp farmers to farm hemp on farmable land, which seems like such a win. And like 2.5 weeks ago was my biggest goal for the hemp industry in Massachusetts. And suddenly I don't know if it matters anymore, because none of the farmers that I'm talking to are looking to expand right now. They're not sure if there's a market for their product. They're not sure if they're going to be farming next year at all. And while my goal is to move into other kinds of hemp production, I'd love to grow for seed. I'd love to make my own granola with hemp seed oil. I'd love to grow my own house. But at this point, am I going to pursue a lease on APR land to grow hemp when I'm not sure if I can sell my product at the end? I just can't. I can't afford to. And every small farmer in Massachusetts is basically operating right now under the same confusion and under the same uncertainty. And, you know, so first and foremost, we need clarity. But second of all, we're already a highly regulated hemp agricultural sector. We already have to have all of the same testing as cannabis products. We're not allowed to grow with pesticides. We are producing an amazing product in Massachusetts. And the only people that are going to have a hard time bringing their crops to market as a result of policies like these are the Massachusetts farmers and the small Massachusetts manufacturers and the Massachusetts retailers that want to pursue, you know, compliant licensing. You know, massive out-of-state farms aren't affected by this. People who are selling it on the internet aren't affected by this. I still drove by every single gas station between here and Amherst selling me a dubious CBD product that isn't tested and isn't regulated. And all we want is to be able to bring to market the most tested, the most regulated, the highest quality hemp that you can grow in the United States. It seems like a reasonable goal. We have this amazing safe space for our cannabis industry in Massachusetts. We did the right thing and we created a medical marijuana program and adult use cannabis that's protected and allowed to flourish. We just want the same thing for this side of the cannabis plant. We just want a hemp industry that's as safe in Massachusetts as our cannabis industry. They work hand in hand. You know, and we just want to be able to grow and develop the industry. And if policies like these go forward, we're honestly taking the knees out of a little tiny baby industry. We're not going to be able to compete. As farmers, we're not going to be able to grow or expand. As product manufacturers and processors,
you aren't?
I am.
Good.
we're not sure what we can do with our products. Like all of the equipment that I
I'll show you how to
invested
go live.
into to create those products,
gonna go-
I don't know if I'm going to recoup those costs.
Where does it
So
say post?
this is kind of a deal breaker for small farms in Massachusetts. We're trying to use hemp to save small farms, to save family farms. And this is where we get to determine whether that's allowed to happen or whether we shut it down right now when there's barely any licenses to speak of.
Yeah, Julia, that's what I'm talking about. So let him grow, right?
Wellness.
Let him grow.
industry grow. Let us be able to do what we need to do in order to feed our families. This is ridiculous. So next up, I want to introduce,
here we go, watch.
So I didn't get a chance to talk about the MASS Hemp Coalition. So when all this happened, everybody banded together. There is an entire community of farmers, of processors, of retailers that are scared.
It should
and
come
they're
right
scared
up,
because they don't have guidance. And so then we formed the MASS Hemp Coalition. So, and I would say MASS Hemp Coalition, but I would say it's a hemp coalition overall. I would say it's about all of the New England states because we have a unique situation. It's not great to grow things around here, in case you haven't noticed.
It's supposed to go live.
You know, specifically
like right
hemp.
there.
So
oh, here we go, right
we
there.
have unique situations that are unique to New England. So MASS Hemp Coalition was started, and it was started with C3RN, NOSHA, and the Healing Rose. And so next up, I'd like to introduce some really wonderful people, Laura Biner and Zach McInnes of the Healing Rose and the MASS Hemp Coalition.
Thank you everyone for coming out today. We really appreciate the support. It's amazing to see so many people coming out to show for hemp. Really appreciate it. So to start, we're just going to introduce ourselves. My name is Laura Biner. This is
Zach McInnes.
And we are president and co-founders, vice president, of the Healing Rose Company. And we also are co-founders of this newly formed Massachusetts Hemp Coalition. We came together after MDAR's statement. It was very concerning to us. We're a small business, we're family run. We have 5 employees that depend on us every single week for their check. And it's very scary to us.
Yeah, so I mean, it directly impacts our business's ability to kind of grow into consumables. We do topicals right now, which is kind of a niche part of the market. I would say the majority of revenue from the CBD industry is coming from consumables, hemp flower, smoke, edibles, capsules, tinctures. So yeah, it kind of strains our ability to do business it strains our ability to do business with local retailers and farmers around here because we can't really make those products for them.
Yeah, so we're not able to increase our tax revenue. We just moved into a brand new facility, and in Newburyport, we literally quadrupled our expenses at the anticipation that we're going to be able to release new products. And now we're finding ourselves with all this machinery, this equipment, raw materials, packaging that we just are unable to use because we want to be compliant. And it's pretty crazy. We spent over almost 3 months working with the city of Newburyport to get our facility compliant with everything with DPH. We worked with the sewer department, everything. We spent about $30,000 on this upgrade. And we wanted to start making tinctures and process hemp flower, and now we're not able to. So we really need regulations to be able to allow for this.
Yeah, and my biggest concern is obviously the out-of-state hemp companies. They're not really, involved in this. They can just keep shipping products into the state and take away our market share. And unfortunately, we can't afford to lose ground to all these big companies in the state, especially here in Massachusetts.
It is
And
the
it's
type
really
of
just an unfair
cannabis.
playing field for everyone else.
It's a type.
So Massachusetts, we need your help. Please allow your small businesses and farmers to capitalize on a national, multi-billion-dollar industry that's already flourishing at a national level. CBD-rich hemp flower is going to be the best chance we have to survive in this industry. Growing for hemp or fibers for food is just not a viable option for long term for us, and we need to support our farmers. They already have soil that's been planted. They're depending on this for their families, their employees, and now they're finding out that maybe they can't sell the products. I mean, that's totally unacceptable. We need to be able to survive and thrive, so please allow us to. Farmers in Massachusetts need help and new industries to make a living, and local brick and mortar stores, some that formed just because of this industry, are now looking at their employees and their inventory and are at a total loss on what to do. And we really need to work with MDAR to create a fair, safe, and booming hemp industry in Massachusetts, and that includes providing more support to MDAR as well. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Laura and Zach from the Healing Rose, the MASS Hemp Coalition. I would say again, help hemp grow, let hemp grow. Let's make sure that we can have a vibrant industry in this state. Up next, I'd like to introduce colleague Jim Borghesani from the Yes on 4 campaign.
Do you want to just stand? Hi, thank you. I just want to point out two things. The Department of Agricultural Resources falls directly under the control of Governor Baker. I asked Governor Baker to recognize two things today and to do two things today. First, recognize that 54% of Massachusetts voters in 2016 voted to legalize cannabis. Probably a lot more want access to hemp consumables. Second, recognize that an absurd dichotomy exists in the state today where you can legally produce and sell cannabis consumables, but you cannot legally produce and sell hemp consumables. I asked the governor, I asked the governor to do two things today. First, make it clear that no agency that falls under his purview will do anything to seize hemp consumables or to impede the sale of hemp consumables. Second, I asked the governor to use his bully pulpit to recommend that no local agency seize or curtail hemp consumables. Until we get a law, we need leadership. Dwight Eisenhower said an ounce of leadership is worth a pound of law. Right now, we need leadership from the governor, and he has the authority to do it, to give comfort to the people here who are producing hemp products and to the public who wants those hemp products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Well said. Let hemp grow, right? So next up, I'd like to introduce a very special friend of mine. Her name is Dr. Mary McNabb, if you might know her. She is the co-founder and CEO of Cannabis Community Care and Research Network. So Dr. McNabb.
Thank you everybody for being here. As Randy mentioned, my name is Dr. Mary McNabb and I'm the CEO of Cannabis Community Care and Research Network. About a week ago when this statement came out, several of our colleagues came together very quickly, namely organized by the Healing Rose and Laura and others in the crew, including Julia. They all came together as a concern, and our company decided to support this community in a way by developing a survey, trying to ask what the major issues were, what each of these groups were facing. So we sent a survey out last week. We got 37 respondents. These are farmers, retailers, and manufacturers from all different parts of Massachusetts. They all are concerned because they've invested significant time and dollars. And we're not here to challenge anything. What we're here is to really understand a little bit where we are in the regulation. After receiving feedback from 36 different groups, we asked people if they would come here and spend 3 minutes sharing their stories. That's why we have so many here today. So we've asked each speaker, again, to come with 3 points. And I'll repeat that the MASS Hemp Coalition that was recently formed 1 week ago between CPRN, the Healing Rose, and the Northeast Sustainable Hemp Association, we formed the MASS Hemp Coalition, and we asked for this press conference to give community concerns and feedback. Our stance is not hostile or aggressive towards MDAR. We are hosting this conference as a way to raise awareness of the issues the statement brings for farmers, processors, retailers, and consumers in Massachusetts. Most of us need to continue, well, most of you in the audience need to continue and with receiving licenses from NDAR and other state agencies. The main focus of this conference we call today is voicing community concerns and is related to saving the small and large hemp farm business in Massachusetts to provide our recommendations. So I'm grateful to MDAR. We've reached out this morning as MASS Hemp Coalition, and we're very excited to be scheduling a meeting with the Commissioner directly very soon, and we'll be sharing these community recommendations and hope that we, again, support the small hemp and large hemp industry here in Massachusetts and Greater New England. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Hey guys, so just so you know, if everybody could kind of pull off the sidewalk and pull in a little bit so that people walking down can like be on the sidewalk. They're in the street right now, just out of respect for our fellow citizens here. Thank you so much. There's also, I believe there's some water over here and some Gatorade in case anybody's really thirsty or if you need some shade. Thank you. So let hemp grow. All right, up next, I'd like to introduce a very special person. When we started this whole thing, it only was like 6 days ago or something. You know, we were behind the 8 ball, and the law firm of Vicente Sederberg stepped up. They stepped up and they said, we need to support Massachusetts. We need to support the farmers. We need to support the producers. We need to support the retailers in Massachusetts. So up next, I'd like to introduce managing partner Adam Fine, please.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is just an amazing turnout. It's really a pleasure to be involved with this newly organized coalition. I know many of you have been working hard for years and years, but it's great to see a coalition come together, and anywhere for open support, we're willing to do so. I'm limited to 3 minutes, so I just want to kind of get a few points out, just an emphasis, which Jim Borghesani and others have already kind of said, which is what has occurred here and what are we going to do about it. You know, the recent guidance that came out from MDAR, from the Department of Public Health, make no mistake about it, it has put Massachusetts at the lowest tier, probably the 49th state when it comes to hemp. And I don't say that to be alarmist, I say that to get people motivated, to talk to your lawmakers, talk to your public officials. So what has happened, and our firm represents hundreds of hemp businesses throughout the country. We've worked on legislation in other states. And we want to get Massachusetts to be that vibrant, dynamic, robust market that it can be. And so the guidance that came out, why it is so problematic, is that it really created a lot of confusion. And that confusion is not good for the business environment, it's not good for small businesses, it's not good for farmers, it's not good for retailers. Because, and the irony is, when we talk about regulated cannabis, you know, we are working through issues of banking, we're working through issues of insurance, we're working through issues of curtailing law enforcement and overall, you know, enforcement sanctions and things like that. But now we have a more confusing state, hemp-derived CBD products, and that it shouldn't be okay. So what has this created? This is going to mean businesses are going to have banking issues, they're going to have insurance issues, and they're going to have that fear of enforcement. Whether or not it occurs, we have heard some instances at the local level. So we really need leadership on this issue, and we need it to come from the government. I just want to echo what Jim Borghesani said. And I just want to kind of finish up and say this. What does that mean when we're thinking about this from a policy perspective? If we're a lawmaker, or if we're sitting there at MDAR as an administrative agency, what they care about, they should care about the economics. We want to have a good economic, we want to have a dynamic business environment, I've already mentioned that, but we also want to have safe products. And when we talk about regulating, what we've done is we're going to have this essentially illicit market, cannabis sales at the retail level. No one's really going to know what's going on. We need clarity on that. We need to make sure that these businesses are and create a safe product and have the minimal amount of regulations that we need to have a good environment, economic environment, good environment for businesses and consumers. So I just want to say this: we are lagging behind other states. I've said that already. We're probably at the lowest level now. There's things we can do, and I think number one thing you can do is what MDAR did in issuing that guidance, and what MDAR did, and what DPH did, but really MDAR, is that we need to get rulemaking. We allow the public to initiate, which under the law they were supposed to issue regulations. We never got regulations. We should get regulations. And the best part about getting regulations is we can get a public comment period where all of your voices can be heard. So that would be a starting step one. And number two, I would encourage all of you to talk to your local lawmakers, talk to your elected officials, tell them why this is important to you. You'll hear from many more people, so I'll wrap up. But thank you all. We're committed as a firm to provide our services pro bono to help put a good piece of legislation forward. So thank you all.
Thank you, Adam. That's what I'm talking about here. We're going to get this done together as a community. Let him grow. So next up, I want to introduce a new friend. You know, when this whole thing started, we've obviously been inundated with, you know, just a whole bunch of people that are like really concerned about their businesses and about their livelihood. One particular person is doing things in the hemp industry that is what this industry should be about. I want to introduce next Jonathan McDougall from Bay Grown Farms. What he's doing is he's repurposing cranberry bogs into hemp farms and then processing that. Give me a break, this is amazing.
Thank you very much for giving me that opportunity to speak here today. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so please bear with me. I actually asked them if I could wear my overalls today, and they said absolutely not. So here we go. So my name is Jonathan McDougall. I'm co-owner of Bay Grown Farms out of Rochester, Massachusetts, and we are repurposing cranberry bogs. And the reason that we're doing that is because the cranberry industry is a dying industry for the independent farmer. They're being outyielded by high acreage farms, and the price of the berry is going down dramatically. And we're seeing direct impact on the market as a result of this. With that being said, it's bringing in big solar companies to cherry pick all the different farmland that's available. And we see that as a problem because we're getting out of town workers, and the energy that they're creating in farming is going out of our town. On top of that, they're destroying trees, disrupting topsoil, and they're creating very unpleasant views for workers. Our solution to this problem is to repurpose the bogs, hire the employees, we want to plant and harvest them, and reintroduce them back into the community. Massachusetts community going as a whole between the processors and the retailers. We want to provide clean medicine. I've been in this industry for 14 years cultivating, and I can say from California to testing is the biggest thing. We need clean flower, we need clean extract to have a clean product that people are going to buy at the end. So we just need to test it. But we just feel that it's very, very important, and we take it very seriously. So we just hope that you guys take it as serious as us, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jonathan. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about here. This is what I'm talking about. Let hemp grow. Right. Next up, I'd like to introduce the Policy and Outreach Director for the Northeast Organic Farming Association, Mr. Marty Dagobert.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for making it out here today on this beautiful day for such an important cause. Again, my name is Marty Dagobert. I'm the Policy Director of the Massachusetts chapter of the Northeast Organic Farming Association. And, we've been organizing since 1982. We have a network of over 1,000 farmers, gardeners, growers, landscapers, foodies, and food activists who all want to support organic agriculture across the state. And, as we all know, our small farmers across the state are struggling. They're struggling to even scrape by. And now we have this new recently legalized crop, first approved by MDAR for the 2018 season, now recognized as a commodity nationwide with the Farm Bill, and it's viewed by many as a potential lifeline to make their farms more economically viable. The primary driver for this crop has been the meteoric growth in demand, in consumer demand for hemp and CBD oil. And so in recent months, NOFA MASS has been hosting several all-day intensives, workshops on hemp cultivation for hemp oil, bringing in horticulturalists from Vermont. We've had people from MDAR there to brief farmers on the regulatory framework. And these workshops have been sold out crowds. We've had a waiting list of 100, and we've had a couple of these so far, really speaking to the interest in farmers wanting to grow CBD oil, wanting to grow hemp for those rich flowers. And we've been hearing about the need for improvements in our state's hemp program. So we've been actively engaging with MDAR, with the legislature. We've worked with legislators to introduce a bill that would allow the use of organic pest management for hemp, which another bill to create a program to help mitigate cross-pollination between fiber hemp and CBD hemp, as well as for recreational cannabis, and also to add cannabis and hemp to the state definition of agriculture. On this last note, we've had a partial victory so far with the House passing and opening up APR land for hemp cultivation. Of course, it still has to go through the Senate to be signed by the governor, but it's kind of a moot point because all the interest in growing hemp in Massachusetts among the farming community is for hemp oil, for CBD. We're not going to be growing on those APR acres if they're cut off. So last I heard, we have 102 licenses issued by MDAR to grow hemp across Massachusetts. Most, if not all of those, are to grow those flowers for the oil. They're not going for seed, they're not going for fiber, and as you all know, it's a totally different process. Farmers have invested tens of thousands of dollars into new equipment, the seed stock, the plant stock, the training, and to learn to grow the crops. They've been granted licenses specifically by MDAR to grow for flower, to grow for infused products, and now, we're cut off at the knees with this policy coming out that really seems to change the rules for farmers mid-season after the crops are already in the ground. I'll speak for myself here, but I trust that many of our members and others here would agree when I say that I'm sort of in a state of disbelief. Why would the administration allow our farmers to invest in a new crop and then remove the local market mid-season? Another question. Why, in a state with legalized adult use of recreational cannabis, would they be restricting non-psychoactive hemp more strictly? You can go and buy a candy bar, right, that'll lay you out for the better or worse part of an afternoon. But now under this new policy, you can't get a hemp-infused bonbon at your local co-op like I used to like to get over at Franklin County Co-op. So it really doesn't make any sense. Our state has been a leader on cannabis. Let's not slide backwards on hemp. We need a regulatory or a legislative fix on this as soon as possible, and I very much look forward to working with you all toward that solution.
Thank you, Marty. Fantastic. Next up, we have some very special people that I'd like to introduce to you. First off, help hemp grow, let hemp grow. We will not be stifled in this industry. This is a vibrant industry that exists already today. There's no reason to take this away from us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarai, and I am the founder of Team Cannabis for Epilepsy. 4 years ago, I started this team because I really needed to find other people that believed in CBD for epilepsy. And we are the first and only cannabis team supported by the Epilepsy Foundation of America. We've done a lot of advocacy events. We've actually walked Boston Common just last month, 3 miles, with MassCan and other advocates in Massachusetts. 14 cannabis for epilepsy, including Bay Grove Farms. Thank you. And this is where I met wonderful mother of 5, Melissa. She's actually running for council at large in Salem, Massachusetts. She's not only is she a mother of 5, but she is a mother of 2 sons with epilepsy, including our youngest team member here, Joshua. Say hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you for the amazing introduction, Sarai. It was such a pleasure to meet you up at the Commons. It's an amazing advocate in this community. Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Falk. I'm here with my 6-year-old son, Joshua. As you can see, Joshua has a rare form of epilepsy, which is called penialosis, and it's the occipital part of his brain. It causes significant behavioral issues. He goes all the way to the Manville School in Roxbury. It's so important. Hold on 1 second. What is your question? Are you trying to forgive us? And I want to teach him how to advocate for himself. And that's why I think it's important to bring your children with you. See, I've had many things happen in my own personal life. Things that have grown me, that have put me in positions where I've had to learn lessons. The most important is taking care of my children and making sure that my son has this nutritional supplement that helps with his epilepsy, and also to be an advocate for others that can't be here today. As you know, there's thousands of uses for hemp. It's not just a herbal supplement.
supplement that happens to help with his epilepsy. It has transformed his life, his quality of life. If you know someone with epilepsy, it is so scary to watch him having a seizure. It is the worst feeling in the world. And he has been seizure-free for 6 months. Thank you to Bill Bones Flynn as well, the president of MASS Hemp, who organizes the Freedom Rally. Woo! After both my boys suffered a seizure.
Everyone here is so nice of coming here.
So, after treating on all the pharmaceuticals, with him still having breakthrough seizures, I was in my car crying one night when Bill Bones Flynn approached me and told me about Charlotte's Web. I called Bill Downing, CBD please. So kind, so caring, listened to my full story, and really helped me make an informed decision. I think it's very important that we regulate the products that are out there in the grocery stores per se, but we need to support our local farmers, our local hemp grows. Hemp is important. Free the hemp. Governor Baker, I spoke as your guest at the NOSHA on your housing initiative bill, and I'm asking for your support. If you're listening, please help us protect our rights. Please help us support the growers and the doctors. Oh, and speaking of doctors, there's only 2 pediatricians in Massachusetts that can certify a child. That needs to change. I'm making a decision between purchasing my son's CBD oil or going to see a pediatrician. I'm the working poor. I don't have the money to be running around. I need your help and I need your support. We all do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. These are the kind of stories that we're talking about here. This is really important for everybody. Let hemp grow, help hemp grow. Let's make sure that we get this done at the legislature and at the State House. This guy is right here? Yeah, this is why we're here. So, next up, we have, so this person, I can't say enough about this person. She's the reason, or one of the reasons, that we have a cannabis industry in the state of Massachusetts. This woman's been working at this, advocating for her entire adult life. And then, what did she do after she got it done? She decided to become a hemp farmer. And now, guess what? She's asked to come out here and advocate again. That's unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. But I'd like to introduce Miss Linda Noel.
Thank you. I hate to be here again today, but today the hemp farmer needs our help. That's our help. I'm one of 102 farmers that are licensed this year for hemp. Last year I was 140. Last year I grew my crop. I had beautiful flower, Lena and Trinda. We were all set. We had a contract with a tea company out in Western Mass. It was going to make chai. Tea company in Western Mass wanted our help to make chai hemp tea. MDAR came to us on the 14th of December, which was the final inspection date for our last harvest, and told us that not only had they denied the tea company, but they were denying our ability to sell the flower, and the only thing they would permit us to do is process it into oil. So I am a farmer. I plant, I fail, I plant again. I have planted again. I've got 400 hemp plants out there waiting to become cannabidiol or hemp hope, more specifically whole plant extract. And just after I finished planting the last one was when MDAR chased the rules again. So what we need are rules, actual regulations that are going to stick. But I think we also need the legislature to do what they just did in Maine. The Maine Department of Agriculture issued a similar edict a couple of months ago and destroyed the hemp industry. A bunch of businesses have gone out of business. It was a real mess. They got their legislators to pass an emergency bill. It's a very simple concept. CBD is a food. Hemp, the whole plant, is a food, not a food adulterant. That's what we In a nutshell, we've been cultivating hemp for 12,000 years. We've been eating it, provably eating it, for 6,000 years ago. Some of the testimony I was looking at was submitted to the FDA by one Richard Rose, who runs the Hemp Food Association. This is one of the big manufacturers of the hemp seed that we all buy at Market Basket. In his hemp seed is hemp flour. Surprise! They can't get the resin off the seed log, and when they process it into the ground seed oil, it's in there. We've been eating it along. Has anybody had a problem? This, it's really not a legislative trick to make this happen. It's just to acknowledge what has already been happening since we started planting hemp in the Commonwealth in 1603. So all I want is assurances from the regulatory powers that if I follow the rules and I have everything tested the way it's supposed to be, I know I will have a safe substance known to me, and it will pass the same tests as the NOFA one, so it's perfectly safe to consume. I want to be able to sell my flour. I want to be able to sell it to you. If you want to take it home and do whatever the heck you want with it. And I want to be able to make the t-shirts that I use because I have a lot of uses. So that's it. Keep writing your legislators. In the next couple of weeks, something's going to move on the Hill. We need your support. Thank you all.
Thank you, Linda. Sorry I had to do that again. Let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Let's make this happen, guys. So next up, very recently I had the opportunity, believe it was at the Harvest Cup, to interview with a new friend of mine, who has an incredible podcast. But he also is a hemp farmer and has recently just gotten his MDAR license. So up next, I'd like to introduce Adam Souza. Where are you? Oh, there he is, Adam. Adam from Urban Acres.
They'll probably have to turn it down for me. I have a loud voice. How's it going? I'm Adam Souza from Urban Acres. We're a small craft farm in Taunton, Massachusetts, trying to build the first large-scale hemp processing facility. I think we need a little history lesson here. By way of royal decree, King James I requires all citizens to grow 100 plants of hemp for export. The governor shall grow 5,000. 1619. George Washington grew hemp on Mount Vernon as one of his 3 major crops. It was such a used crop that we had to import it because it was in such high demand. 400 years ago, we knew what this plant could do. Hemp was one of the first crops that the Pilgrims sought after. And in 1632, there was mandatory hemp cultivation laws passed here in Massachusetts and in Connecticut. It was used to feed our livestock, which put hemp and cannabinoids into our system. It was used for rope and many textiles for ships. It was so serious that in the 17th century, if you refused to grow hemp, you could go to jail. How crazy is that? I totally just forgot the rest. Hold on a moment, hold on. Randy wants everybody to come closer to me. We need to stop moving around, it's a little warm, you know. Boot camp taught me, don't lock your knees, you'll pass out. And safe passage, that too. I wanted you guys to get closer to me though, really. Where were we? It was used to pay farmers taxes and even barter from 1619 all the way to the early 1900s. What happened? Even before COVID, between 1911 and 1913, Massachusetts became the first state to make Indian hemp illegal. It was the first law of its kind in our nation to make cannabis or hemp illegal. Now, after over 100 years of propaganda, reefer madness, and a lot of lies, here we are. Our nation on the verge of an economic collapse. Our citizens polarized and poor. Pollution at an all-time high and ever growing. Health at an all-time low, and farmers losing their land. It's time for change. Woo! And yet, we fight over growing the one plant that could boost our local and federal economies, get rid of plastics and other harmful things, and nourish our bodies and endocannabinoid systems. We've been told to pull all of our consumables off our shelves, while every single gas station is allowed to have bottom tier quality CBD products that some of them don't even test to have CBD in them. Our local manufacturers and farmers and retailers take pride in our high quality, independent, lab tested products. And this isn't just for us. In order to protect our consumers, we have to encourage our farmers to grow in this economy. If we don't, it's gonna just encourage cheap imports that are gonna make people sick. When we have the finest craft in the whole entire country right here, don't we? We need to get back to letting the farmers boom like we did for the first 300 years of building this great country. So in short, by way of Massachusetts Hemp Coalition decree, help hemp grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. Help hemp grow. Let hemp grow. All right, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't just affect this state. New England, in general, you could kind of consider us one big state in a lot of ways, except for New Hampshire's a little weird, but I like you guys. But so anyways, that being said, there's farmers in Vermont, there's farmers in New Hampshire, there's farmers in Maine, even New York, Connecticut. These people need an outlet for their products, correct? So they're going to send it to another state if we don't have the ability to sell it. So at that being said, I'd like to introduce Catherine Desmond. She's a farmer from Vermont.
Thank you. I want to thank the MASS Hemp Coalition for inviting me down. I want to thank Marion. I want to thank Laura. I want to thank Julia. Can I ask all of you a question? How many of you work in the hemp space here in Massachusetts? Thank you for coming. I work in Vermont. I am a lifelong Massachusetts resident and a farmer who decided that she was going to work in Vermont growing hemp because Massachusetts really didn't have an active program. And since then, for the past 4 years, I've been working with academic research to find the best ways to get hemp into the agri-space and to also help consumers find safe and effective products. Right now, the crux of this meeting is the fact that CBD has been put in a place where it's no longer available to the consumer in Massachusetts. And CBD is one of the most popular supplements in the world right now. I don't think any of you know one person that hasn't tried it. The people have spoken. People love CBD. They love how it replaces a lot of their other medication. They love how it's safe. They love how it's effective. They love how it comes from a plant that you yourself can even grow in your own backyard. You can make your own medicine if you're taught properly. I think this threatens a lot of the pharmaceutical industry, unfortunately. And I also think that we have to be able to stand up for ourselves as consumers and say, we can make our own decisions. I'm going to compare this to a cigarette. You can go buy another plant in a store that has no medicinal value, no therapeutic events to it. It's toxic, it's carcinogenic, and it's not good for you. But you can go buy it. And we should be able to go and make a choice to buy CBD if we need it, if we feel it helps us, if it makes it so we don't have to take dangerous pharmaceuticals. Producing products and offering them to the public, to patients, to people that wanted to try it, to people that had questions, and asked for their feedback. Asked them to tell me what they thought of CBD products, what they thought of hemp products. And I have had nothing but positive responses. I have not had one person in 4 years tell me that they had bad side effects or that they didn't get some help from CBD. So over the years, every single time I work with another person, I get another story about how CBD helps them with their epilepsy, I come from a family with several family members with epilepsy. It helps them. I treated my father, who had terminal cancer, with hemp, with CBD. It made his journey that much more comfortable.
Edibles are coming
So
up.
I have seen firsthand how hemp and CBD have helped hundreds and hundreds of people face to face, one-on-one, from the products that I have brought out into the consumer space. I don't want to see us go backwards. I don't want to see these people that have spent a lot of money, have invested, sometimes they've invested their retirement accounts. They put the farm up so that they can grow a crop. Growing hemp is not inexpensive. It's a very hard job. And some of these farmers are all of a sudden being told that their business plans have to be put on hold. And that means a huge loss for some of these people. It can mean financial ruin for a farmer who decides to take that risk. And that's what we all do. Hemp farmers, we are risk takers right now because there is no regulation. But what really bothers me is that I have 4 years of data that I would gladly give to a regulator and say, this is my data. Let's talk. Let's find a safe regulation process. Let's talk to the consumers, and let's find a way to put CBD into the consumer space in a safe way, and also in an affordable way, so that people can get what they need. I thought of a child not being able to go to the store now and get the medicine. Like I said, I come from an epilepsy family. The medicine in order to treat themselves when all the other pharmaceuticals don't work. It's just so unfair. And everybody should, all of you, take a few minutes when you get the time and get on the phone or get on your computer and write to your representatives, write to the government, write to the legislatures. Let them know just how you feel. If you take CBD every day, please speak out and support hemp. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. All right, let hemp grow, right? Help hemp grow. So next up, so recently when we formed the MASS Hemp Coalition, I am so blessed to be introduced to just an enormous amount of beautiful people. And one of the leaders that really took charge here is our next speaker. I'd like to introduce Kyle Black from Seven Chakras. Thank you, Kyle.
I just want to say thank you so much for everybody being here. I'm so proud to be a part of this industry where all of these people have come together from all aspects of it. We have the farmers, the manufacturers, the retailers. One of the things that really made me step forward is this policy that came out is really putting the consumer at risk. It's not just about the retailer selling the product, but by them putting this ban on it, it really puts them to get untested products where the retailers of MASS are really doing their part in testing their product before putting it on their shelves to make sure that we know what we're consuming. So I'm really grateful that everyone's here putting this all together. I can't thank everyone enough for doing this. As far as what we need to go forward, everyone's together, that's really how we're going to do it. Helping hemp grow, the farmers, the producers, the retailers, but also the consumers, so that way we can get it all on the same page and tell everybody what we need to make this all successful. We don't want Massachusetts to go backwards. We want it to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Nice job, buddy. Alrighty. So let hemp grow, right? Help hemp grow. We need this in this industry. We are an industry. There is unity in this community, right? So next up, I'd like to introduce a colleague of mine. I've had the pleasure to have known him for the past couple of years. Mr. Will Luzier. He's worked on the marijuana policy project, and one of the reasons that this industry even exists in this state right now. So, Will, thank you so much.
So, as all of you know, I was the campaign manager for Yes on 4 to tax and regulate cannabis. And what some people don't understand is that when 1.8 million Massachusetts voters decided to legalize cannabis, not only cannabis
looks like. Hemp is defined by the initiative that we all voted for, subsequent statute, as the plant, any part of the plant, of the genus cannabis, that contains less than 0.3% THC, or a combination of THC and THCA. Both the initiative that we voted for and Mass General Laws, Chapter 94G, mandates that an adult shall not be arrested, prosecuted, penalized, sanctioned, or disqualified, and is not subject to seizure or forfeiture of assets for possessing, producing, processing, manufacturing, purchasing, obtaining, selling, or otherwise transferring or delivering hemp. And remember, hemp is defined as a plant or any part of that plant. And we all know that CBD is part of hemp. So the policy statement by MDAR prohibiting the sale of certain products containing CBD is not only contrary to the sentiment expressed by those 1.8 million voters, but suggesting that local health departments and police departments are empowered to enforce that policy is contrary to law. MDAR should be directed to view more closely to the will of the people instead of taking the easy road, viewing this to the directive of the FDA and Maine, Vermont, and New York have recently moved in the opposite direction, allowing sale of those products. Massachusetts should not be stifling Massachusetts growers and retailers when those other neighboring states are free to participate in that commerce. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Help hemp grow in this state. Help hemp grow in this country. Help hemp grow in this world. This plant could save the small farm in America. I think this is a reality, and I think it's a reality that we need to make happen as a community together. Let hemp grow. So next up, I recently got to meet this whole hemp coalition thing. Has been wonderful. I've been meeting so many beautiful people. But again, it's from all over these different states. This is a community. New England is a community. And so up next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Eli Harrington. He's a lobbyist, but he's a hemp farmer. This is what he does. This is where he's going to be doing with his work. Eli?
All right, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate being welcomed here. I went to school at Brandeis and love being back in the Mass community. I want you guys to give yourselves a hand because you are walking the walk out here in this hot-ass weather, and that's what's so cool about this grassroots community. I'm going to drive home this afternoon, and I'm going to go through 3 different states with 3 completely different regulations. That to me is absolutely crazy, and why we really want to encourage regional participation. We are very fortunate in Vermont. Our Agency of Agriculture is incredible. They have been working with farmers, with hemp producers, with CBD producers directly, because we know what happens with industrial ag. We know what happens with globalization. We know what it does to small farms, to family farms, especially here in the Northeast. And the same issues that are happening with former cranberry bogs are happening with former dairy farms up there in Vermont. I just got back from the Hemp Industry Daily Convention in New Orleans. It was a great time. I did not see any family farms from New England there. What I did see was companies selected by the Chinese government to grow bulk CBD, be processed into isolate, be put into everything from vaporizers to topicals. And yet we here in Massachusetts, the birthplace of America, by the way, are sitting here arguing about whether or not we can put this flower, this plant which grows naturally, which we have the legal right to cultivate, into our own foods and sell them to our own populations. This is not a question of preference, it's not a question of economics, it's survival. And for those of us in the Northeast, we are going to have to think about this and work together. We saw in Vermont the number of hemp farmers go from 97 in 2017 to 470 in 2018. I was very proud to be number 13. When we started our company, Heady Vermont, doing media and events, we started by doing farmers markets, because that's what you do. When farmers have a product to sell, they need a market. Now, we were supported by our state, and this is not a partisan issue. We have got a Republican governor as well. Everybody, progressives, Democrats, Republicans, came together to support our small businesses and small farms, and we continue to do so. So we are here, the Vermont cannabis community, we are here to support you guys in Massachusetts, in Maine, even in New Hampshire, and maybe Connecticut, at least part of it. We are here to have your guys' backs and to show you the way, and hopefully to all work together and get through this, because the future is going to be small craft and we need to protect ourselves and work together. So thank you very much, the coalition. It's amazing, the grassroots organization. When we did our first Hemp Fest in Vermont in September 2017, the first people to sign up from out of state to see the vision were Laura and Zach from the Healing Rose. So talk about walking the walk since back in the day, investing directly. We love and appreciate you guys, and we're here for you in Vermont. See you soon.
Yeah. I would just like to ask everybody to please pull in from the sidewalk so people do not have to walk in the street. I would be very grateful for that. Thank you. Let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Thank you, Eli. See, it's not just Massachusetts; it's an entire New England community. So next up, I'd like to introduce one of the people that started really being interactive with the MASS Hemp Coalition. This affects her business on a real personal level. And so I'd like to hear what she has to say. Miss Sandy Bernier from Iron Bliss. Keep it real quick.
Thank you, Randy. I am so happy to be here. My name is Sandy, and I am Irie Bliss Wellness. Irie Bliss being the most perfect state of contentment that we all could hope to live our best life, right? So basically, my history with this plant started in 1989 when both of my grandfathers got cancer. And I heard my parents saying, this plant will help you with your chemo symptoms. Okay, so it's not just something like beer. So me being the super smarty pants overachiever little wise ass that I was, in 1991 wrote my first 5-page paper on how hemp can save the world. I was 13 at that time. Fast forward, I moved to Boston basically 3 days before my 18th birthday, and I actually lived directly across the street at the little building across from the Boston Common. Well, you can imagine when I came out and there was a hemp fest going on in my front yard. I remember running up because there was no cell phone, calling my mom and dad and being like, there's a huge pot for me in my front yard. This is amazing. So that kind of began my okay, there's a community here of people that also knew at that. A 13-year-old girl knew about hemp saving the world. So, fast forward, I end up I've lived in friggin' Watertown, Hull, I've lived in, all over this state. And I met this amazing friend of mine, Amy, in 2007, and sadly Amy came down with the big C, the cancer, and that was in 2009, and so I kind of revisited my love of this plant to try to help my friend, and we went to the Patients Out of Time conference, and we pretended that we were freaking nurses going back to nursing school, and we tried to figure out every single way that we could use this plant, and thank God in Maine, medical marijuana was legal, so I was lucky to be from the state of Maine and have copious amounts of basically at that time non-desirable parts of the plant. So basically the trim, the leaf, and we got to work and we made butters and we made oils and we kicked cancer's butt, you guys. And Amy is a testament to my passion, and I have turned my passion into purpose. Okay, so I ended up having a babies in a triple-decker in Dorchester. Again, a testament to the fact that I'm truly a masshole at this point, even though I spent my first 17 years in Maine. And basically in 2017 I realized that this could be something. So with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old under my feet, I started Irie Bliss from my apartment in Dorchester, and I was trying to consult, I was trying to spread the message about the plant. And frankly, I started getting too many clients to see them in my home. So in 2018, especially because we had so much amazing Vermont hemp and local hemp, I was able to start a real consulting business with a brick and mortar, with a wellness center, where I basically attracted a ton of different people to come and talk about alternative therapies, not just about, CBD and how CBD can help the world. So obviously now we're at a crossroads because I am about to go into my 30-year business, and I'm not sure if I'm going to reopen as a retail store on July 1st. I'm currently closed. I just so happen to have my lease run up at the wellness center, and I've decided that I'm not going to keep retailing hemp CBD products any longer out of that space. So I'm moving 2 blocks away, and I'm opening an education and a resource center for the community at the moment, while all of my products sit in boxes. Okay? I have an LLC in the state of Maine where I'm from, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be moving most of those products to my cannabis chapel that's at Camp CBGB in Waterboro, Maine, where I worship this plant. It could turn into a real church, but we'll see. So if that's the route that I have to go, I'll be a religion, I'll be a private club, I'll move my products to Maine so I can ship them to my customers in Massachusetts who depend on these products to feel well. Okay, I was doing this at first in 2017. I could only recommend hemp products that were being made overseas or out west. There was no faces behind the products. I had no idea what was in the products. Finally, one day I asked one of those big companies for a lab test, and you know what? It failed. It failed a pesticide reading. And I went, oh my God, I can do better than this. I can source locally just like I source my food locally. And so I took matters in my own hands and I started making my own products. And then I found local labs who were certified, who started white labeling my products for me so I could be in compliance and go back to consulting and working with patients like I wanted to. And I just asked for the right to continue to do that without having to be a hemp refugee and go back to Maine, even though my mom would love that. But, you know, really, like, I want to just keep doing business, and I'm totally willing to work with my local Board of Health. They've been on board every step of the way. First, I was, you know, I had a residential kitchen license, and they were like, oh, a food license. Just tell me what kind of license you guys want me to get, and I'll get it. If you come to my shop right now, I have a book of labs. I didn't print this out for the rally. I will pass it around. I have my Serve Safe, my allergy certificate. We're doing the best we can, guys. Just tell us how you want us to do it, and we will follow the rules. Just make some rules. Thanks.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much, guys. Again, I just want to say, make sure we have a walkway for all people coming down the side. I believe there might be some waters or stuff like that over there if everybody's thirsty, or if you need some shade, please let anybody know. And the sun is out, so let hemp grow, right? Help hemp grow. This is what we need to do here in this community, in this state of Massachusetts, but also in New England in general. So next up, I'd like to bring a representative from Maine, Miss Janet McAllister from Hippie Chicks LLC.
Good afternoon, Massachusetts. You see that big stone building? Rattle those stones. Your voice will change these laws, the same as we did in Maine. You hold their votes. You ensure their jobs. Remember that. Your voices is what will change this law. As for clean regulation, as a company in Maine, I've seen the crap on the market that puts your consumers at risk. Makes you look bad too. Ensure clean regulation. Make your voices heard. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think most importantly what we need is education. Education for the masses. So next up I'd like to introduce a very close friend and colleague, Ellen Brown from Sensibility Seminars.
Any friend I have is a friend of mine! Absolutely! My name is Ellen Taylor Brown. I'm the founder of Sensibility Seminars, and I am here today to educate, to empower, and to come together. Thank you to each and every one of you that have come out. Here are my 3 points. I am a farmer, first and foremost. So I listen and I hear the plights of the other cultivators. What they have done, MDAR has done, is reprehensible. We have already put our seeds into the ground. We already know what we are cultivating for. I am a United States Air Force veteran. Veterans have one of the highest suicide rates in the nation. But farmers have a higher suicide rate than veterans. Take that in for a minute. Farmers have a higher suicide rate than veterans. We have enough problems with getting insurance, with getting the genetics that we need. And now MDAR comes in and tells us that we don't have anywhere to sell our final commodity. A lot of growers are growing for CBD. Where are they supposed to go? Don't mess with my livelihood. I've already bet the farm on it. No. And then what about my students? My students go on to create some of the best CBD companies in the country, and they go on to cultivate some of the most organic, reliable hemp in the world, and they are proud of that, and we are all proud of that. And you can pry that hemp plant from my cold dead hands if you think this is going to happen today. I'm a masshole, hear me roar. We are together, we are united, and we are unstoppable. So, here's what I want you to know. We need to be proud, we need to be loud, and more than anything, we need to be together. We are a united front, we are an unstoppable front. Let hemp grow, absolutely. And who's going to grow it? It's going to be the farmers, it's going to be the businesses, and it's going to be the consumers. Just because you're not a farmer, just because you're not a business, doesn't mean you don't have a voice, and don't forget it. Every single one of us, if we all speak up, we're so loud they need to hear us. Thank you to every single one of you that have come out today and had your voices heard. Thank you. Take the time. Give yourself a round of applause. Share this on social media. Let every single person know you got a
I'm talking about. Let hemp grow. We are farmers. We are processors. We are community. We are consumers. We are retailers. We are this industry. We need to let hemp grow.
Like, got teary. Like.
All right, so where am I? Okay, next up. So again, the MASS Hemp Coalition was formed in, I don't know, 6 days. It happened like overnight. Everybody came together. Everybody put in their effort. I mean, it's been just a phenomenal thing to see. And one of those people that really took charge is my friend Beverly Barish from Wicked Chronic, and I'd like to have her say some words. She's got some stake in this game.
Thank you. This is the first time that I've ever spoken in front of this team. I'm so very excited to be here. Thank every single one of you for being here. It's really important that you continue to show up when we need you. I'm a patient. I love medical cannabis. It's changed my life. I will tell anybody who wants to know my story. I love it so much that we discussed opening a medical marijuana dispensary. We don't have lots of money. There were too many barriers to entry. We couldn't do it, but I had to share my experience with this amazing plant, with people. I had to tell everybody what it can do for you. So our answer was to open Wicked Chronic. What Wicked Chronic is, we're a cannabis accessory store. We sell CBD, we sell wellness, we sell education. Come and have a conversation every day. I talk to lots of people, and we educate them on CBD. We test, just like Erie Wellness.
Irie Bliss.
We have Erie Bliss. We have a book as well. That was our answer to Natick. Natick didn't want us. They were really pissed when we opened up. But we tried so hard to work with our Natick Board of Health. We have a really good working relationship with them, and we will continue to do that. Hopefully we'll be able to get all of our products, including the edibles, back on our shelves, because right now we've got a lot of stock sitting in our basement that we can't get rid of. It's become contraband. This substance that has hurt no one, that helps so many people, that I can't sell to cancer patients that come to my store every day. I can't sell to parents of epileptic children that want their gummies, because that's the easiest way for them to get their kids to take CBD. It helps them in this form. We've got to get it back on the shelves. It belongs in food. We're meant to eat our medicine, people. This is what we've come up with. We can definitely do better. Massachusetts is leading the way in that. I've got so many of my friends here that have developed products. I can't wait to get on my shelf. I need guidance. I need regulation. I'm begging for it. I'm a rule follower. Give me the rules, I'll follow them. Please. Help hemp grow.
Nice work, Beverly. Didn't seem like that was the first time, but hey. Help hemp grow. Let hemp grow. Let's do this. This is a community. I didn't introduce you yet, John.
Got you on
I got to say something right here. If there's anybody in this community that has been talking about hemp for a long time, is this man right here. If you have any questions about this plant, this is the man to talk to. So next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. John Dvorak.
Thanks, Randy. Woo. My name is John Dvorak. I'm a hempologist with the Cannabis Curriculum. The MDAR policy statements are nothing more than a manifestation of reefer madness and a knee-jerk reaction that will hurt small Massachusetts businesses and cannabis farmers while jeopardizing the health of thousands of people like my brother Mark, who use CBD to get off numerous medications and opioids. If we let our government get away with these onerous Catch 422 type restrictions, we'll never fully realize the tremendous potential of cannabis hemp. We're not talking about plutonium here, people. This is a plant that's been used for thousands of years by almost every civilization on Earth. During the Age of Sail, way back in the 15, 16, 1700s, they used hemp fiber to make the rope and canvas sails for the ships that were so important for commerce, exploration, and warfare. Go over to the Charlestown Navy Yard. Climb aboard the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides, and learn more about the amazing history of hemp. That's right. CBD, rope, and canvas aren't the only things you can make out of hemp, though. I'm covered with hemp today, from herd to toe. That's why I call it the green buffalo. Hey, that's right. Native Americans use the entire cannabis plant. Native Americans use the entire buffalo to survive. And you can use the entire cannabis plant to make so many essentials. Food, fuel, building materials, biodegradable plastic, high-strength composites, body care products, tree-free paper like this speech is written on, and clothing. Oh, and yes, even CBD. Go figure. Now, everyone here needs to buy hemp products, so farmers will have the incentive to grow more of it. You can buy a lot of great products out there. Hemp milk, shelled hemp seed, Dr. Bronner's hemp soap. You get that at all the major supermarkets. Go to the Hempest on Newberry Street or in Harvard Square. Go online. Amazon has hundreds of great hemp products out there. The green buffalo indeed. So make no mistake about it. The cannabis industry is creating tens of thousands of jobs all across this country in what will become a trillion-dollar industry. If we don't want Massachusetts to miss out on the green rush, we must have fair and reasonable regulations as we work to turn reefer madness into reefer gladness. Woo! Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we'll send you right back to Randy. But until then, I want to thank Ellen, KP, Gabby, everybody, Will, for coming out. Thank you guys for coming out. We need everybody in this fight. Oh, here he comes. You were. Grow hemp.
Let hemp grow. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Help hemp grow. This is our community. This is a vibrant, vibrant community. We have been operating here with no guidance, right? And we've been doing a really good job of it. And now you're expected to come in and tell us what we're supposed to do? I don't think so. I think we decide. I think we need to create a working group that we can tell you what to do. We know what we're doing, you don't. All right, so next up, another small business that has their livelihood possibly on the line in the state of Massachusetts here. Angela Arena from Kind Lab, please come on up here, Angie. Let him grow.
Hey, I'm Angela. I am the owner and founder of Kind Lab, and I'm so excited to be here. This is so phenomenal seeing how many other passionate people are in the hemp business here in Massachusetts. The con of it is like everyone's made all the good points. So I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack and talk a little bit about how my customers see hemp. As I said, I'm the owner of Kind Lab. We have our own line of CBD products, and I also operate a store on Cabot Street in Beverly, where I sell our products as well as a host of other CBD-infused products. Our mantra is better living for nature, and we really, we're really aligned with the natural wellness movement. We're so happy to see really go mainstream. Amazon's purchase of Whole Foods is a great example of that. When people come into our store and we start talking about hemp and its possibilities, they're like, oh, it's like turmeric. Like, exactly, yes, it's like turmeric. It's been used as a spice for ages, and now you're finding it in capsules and teas and tinctures and the whole thing, and that's how they see it. My customers really see hemp as the new superfood, and they're very interested in it. They want a lot of different options. What's been great about being in this industry so long is, I used to be really limited as to what sources, like where I could get good quality hemp. It used to be mostly Colorado and Washington. In the past 6 months or so, there's really been such a boom in the industry here. I've had the opportunity to meet so many different people and partner with local businesses. It's kind of like buying your vegetables at farmers markets. It makes a big difference to eat things locally. So I really focus on people who specialize in hemp, those people who really care and put care and their passion into those products, and people who are growing locally. So when these regulations came out, it was, like anything in the hemp industry, kind of the floor comes out from under you. Because now, all those
that investment that I've made in my inventory and my products, as well as the investment that I've made in a lot of companies that are here to help them grow and to support them, is now at risk. So, you know, with that, today I really want three things. I want to find easy parking in downtown Boston. I want to pet that dog, and I want to make myself available, and all of us to make us available as resources to talk about the policy, to inform and to educate so we can make policies that make sense. I'm very supportive of having safe and quality products, but I'm also very supportive of having regulations that allow our industry to thrive. So thank you all for coming.
Nice job. Thank you so much, Angela. All right, so up next, Let Hemp Grow, right, guys? Thank you so much for being out here and braving the warmth, but it is kind of a beautiful day, so I think we're doing all right. So next up, I'd like to introduce Sherry Tuckis, Jody, and Sariana. I think she was here with it. Sariana, are you coming up here too? Green Nurse Group.
Woo! This is Sherry Tuckis and Jody Jenkins, and we are registered nurses from the Green Nurse Group and Green Nurse on the Go show. I am the founder of the Green Nurse Group, a whole health non-profit consulting agency for cannabis nurses who are also medical patients. Jody and I are also consultants and nurses at Irie Bliss Wellness, a holistic center and health boutique in Rockland, Massachusetts. Sandy came up here and spoke, and what we do is we educate on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and hemp. We teach people how to incorporate hemp into their diets, utilizing various types of products to optimize their endocannabinoid system for wellness. I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and today I stand here representing myself, my nurses, the patients that I work with, and the nursing organizations across the country, and the patients that I care for. And we all feel that prohibiting the sale of any food product containing CBD is not the answer. Pulling CBD hemp-derived product food items off the shelves takes away a significant nutrient-dense food that has been used over thousands of years. We're currently in a health crisis on multiple levels, and taking it away essential food group is an abuse of power. We've also heard about Richard Rhodes, who founded the Hemp Food Association in 1998, and he wrote an amazing document. Hemp is considered by many historians to be one of the oldest cultivated crops. Humans have been eating hemp for at least 12,000 years in various forms. Hemp has been grown continuously in the United States since 1606. I'm shaking. I need more hemp. I am so passionate about this. It is a nutrient-dense food, and it provides an abundant source of vegetable oil that holds its nutritional value for years. The most predominant cannabinoid in hemp is CBD. Humans and animals have been consuming CBD and hemp for thousands of years. We must consider all hemp products in their natural form as an existing ingredient and not as a new ingredient, any more than water, heirloom apples, or ancient rye varieties. Right? As nurses, we put patients and people first before profit, and so should everyone else. The whole hemp plant is food, including all of its constituents: seeds, flour, oil, all of the cannabinoids. Olives make olive oil. Hemp makes hemp oil. Both are food groups, including CBD. We should not stop the process. Do not stop the process. Continue this with those who are successfully doing it now. We all agree with regulation, but let it be regulated by those who have gone before us and those who have passion with the purpose to make this safely accessible to all. Remember, everyone, what's it all about? Living your best life. Woo!
Nice job, guys. Thank you so much. Let hemp grow, everybody, right? Help hemp grow. This is our industry. This is our industry. We decide what happens here, not them. Okay, I got that. Okay. All right, so up next, Jacob just showed up. So I want to introduce a new license holder, a new MDAR license holder in the state of Massachusetts. This is going to affect our farmers. It's incredible how difficult this could be for them. These people have put their time, their energy, their money into a crop that is now being told that they cannot have a place for. So next up I'd like to introduce Jacob Zeminski from CAVU Hemp.
Thank you. So yeah, Calvu, wonderful day. It's nice to be home here in Boston. It's nice to be here. One of the things that Calvu is we're really trying to drive, one of the key items is the revival of dairy farms. I was lucky enough to grow up on one. I actually had to, as we grew up, it kind of moved away, and the big farm came in, and I kind of moved out. I moved away, went to college, got involved in healthcare for 15 years. Personal background, two chemists that made both CBD and marijuana. We're talking about CBD today. There's a big stigma we're looking at for all angles. Today I speak from a couple different angles. One is it's very, very exciting to be here. It's great minds. It's an opportunity to really continue what the Commonwealth does, and that's be leaders. We have a really ripe opportunity to put some good policy and some good regulations in place that are helpful, that drive more business, that empower farmers. One of the other aspects of our business is processing. We're not looking for the horse. We look at farmers, one of the roles they have, what they do with the farm. Empowering farmers, what they're good at, what they're doing. We support that supply chain. And what we've got going on right now is regulations. It's knee-jerk. I don't know if there's, what makes me more unnerving right now is my plants that I'm thinking about over here, or this policy that we support. Literally, we're putting plants in the ground, and we're behind right now. Many other farmers are significant investments that they put forward. They've got a hedge on it. We've already got a tough market as it is. Putting these handbooks in the market. We don't know what to do. We've got some confusion on the micro level. Again, I go back to macro level. This is something that we need. This is something that we should do. One of the things I like to see is farmers that really work. Yeah, I'll thank Bro and thank you for all being here, and let's make this happen.
Thank you, Jacob. This is what I'm talking about. This is affecting all of us. It's affecting everybody from the farmer to the retailer to the manufacturer to the consumer. This could be a very big part of our economy in Massachusetts, and with this kind of policy, it doesn't allow Massachusetts to compete not only with itself, but with the rest of the country, with the rest of the world. And the artisanal flower that we can produce in this state could outweigh just about anywhere else in the country, I believe, because we have some of the best farmers, we have some of the best people in this United States. All right, so I just want to say, everybody, just make sure we got room for everybody to walk along the back there. I just, people and kids, I don't want to get them in the road again. If anybody wants to speak, you have opportunity. That's why we're here. If you wouldn't mind, please kind of like congregating either towards this over area here, because I've skipped a few and I don't know if some people didn't show up, but if you want to say some words, by all means, come see me right here. Let's see, what we got next. So Next up, I'd like to introduce a Nantucket retailer with Roasted General Store, Lynn Bigier.
Well, I'm super psyched to get off the island to be here. Not super psyched that it's for this reason. Really passionate about farm-grown, plant-based medicine as an alternative to get away from pharmaceutical drugs. When I was 19, I went to Johns Hopkins Hospital. I dropped out of college twice, and my medical doctor said to me, figure out a way to get better without taking these drugs because they're going to kill you. And that was when I'm 19. I'm 47 years old. I've been teaching yoga for 18 years and kind of fell into CBD, to be honest. And it just, really warmed my heart. On the island, we service everyone from carpenters to people that are digging, that are building houses, to CEOs, to major shareholders and major pharmaceutical companies. So we service everyone. Everyone comes to us and wants to know about CBD. We really think about it from an agricultural standpoint. So this MDAR policy that came out really affected us personally because we love telling our clients where this product is coming from. It's not coming from China, it's not coming from overseas, it's a New England-based product, and that's so important for our farmers to come back, for the dairy farmers to come back, for the other farmers to come back, and have these artisans and these makers to make products that are organic, high-quality products that we can deliver for medicine. And I don't think that the state realizes what they've done with these policies because we need this on our shelves. Additionally, we have been doing some add-ins to drinks for people to try out different products, high quality. And unfortunately, from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, we lost that ability, and that's really disappointing because not every customer trusts the taste of a product. Not every customer is sure about what hemp will do for them. And it's not to say you can try it once and you're going to know, but it can be helpful to say, you know what, I tried it once and it felt good and I want to buy this product. So we're really hoping that the state's going to turn this around. We understand that there's policymakers that are influenced by different people, and we really hope that you get influenced by the retailers, the makers, and the farmers that are here today, because that's your tax dollar right there. You are going to miss out on every tax dollar because guess what? People are buying the product online. They're not going to stop. They're just going to buy it online from another state, and we need the money here. So thank you for coming in. Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. That was great. All right, let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Help this industry thrive in Massachusetts. So up next, we have Mr. Kurt Concord from Cape Ann Botanicals. He's going to say a few words about retailing and CBD in the area.
Thank you, guys. Help hemp grow. So, my name is Kurt Cocker. I'm a registered nurse of 25 years. Pediatric nursing is what I've done. Thank you very much. I belong to the American Cannabis Nurses Association and the United Patients Group, which is a group that actually helps advocacy for medical marijuana. I've worked in the industry now for several years. I was in California for 25 years, so I watched the industry grow pretty heavily out there, and it was regulated a little bit there as well. Working in California, I watched the industry grow for 25 years, and I can see how the industry can help local economies and assist people with the pathway to wellness. I believe and welcome smart regulations that cover cultivators, processors, and retailers. We need more clarification from MDAR on this policy. There are multiple states that have passed smart regulations for CBD products, and we should do the same. We welcome further discussion and hope that there is an opportunity for the hemp industry professionals to give feedback directly to the department to help draft those regulations. With hemp products containing less than 0.3 THC, this should not be treated as anything different than but an herb, like chamomile or echinacea, found in countless teas or herbal supplements. This industry has already developed within our state and is growing. A lot of people work for my company, the 2 stores that we own, and I have a lot of other, obviously, growers and cultivators and processors that we help, live in this world. We want a roadmap to regulation that values and protects jobs and tax revenues here in Massachusetts. Thank you all for all your time, and thank the MASS Hemp Coalition for taking all the time that we've developed so quickly. All you retailers, cultivars, processors, God bless you, and we'll fight this and we'll change that regulation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kurt. All right, we got a couple more speakers left. I saw someone that just showed up who has also been on the front lines of this fight for a long, long time. I'd like to introduce Ms. K.P. Owens from Terrapin Farms.
Anyways, hi kids. I'm a hemp farmer. I've been doing it for 4 certificates full time because what I can say, I helped it grow from the beginning to the end to get it MDAR and through and do this. Going through cold nights and making sure those babies were warm at night and having the right room temperature. We're doing what we gotta do, and we made it. It was worth every cold night. Okay? So I'm here saying to Boston, which I was here once upon a time when I was. Anyways, Boston, Craig, really, listen up. All the people that are here before you, there might be another 1,000 behind us, farmers. So yes, I'm proud to say I'm a Boston farmer, because I'm an Irish immigrant too. So Charlie Baker, please, listen to us, get it out, help us, we need what we need. We need the regulations changed back, we need the people who know how to speak their terms and know all the knowledge. Be able to explain it to your house, because that's what they're here for. And I appreciate each and every one of you kids. Every one of you. In Boston, we're coming home to make him grow.
Yes, KP, that's what I'm talking about. That woman's been fighting for legalization since her entire adult life. You need to thank that woman. All right, let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. Thank you all for being here so much. We have, I think, 1 or 2 more speakers. So next up, I'd like to introduce the creator of Plant Seed Strategies, Joanne Dugan. Let's come on, everybody. I know it's getting a lot here, but let's keep it up. Keep it up. Let him grow.
Expert in Massachusetts. That is not what I do, nor is it why I am here. I am here as the creator of Plan C Strategies. I am an emotional intelligence educator. And what I want to talk to you about is what is going on that other people are reacting so negatively to hemp. It is because we are all primal beings. Our brains are lit up to survive. What do? We are afraid. That is your job, is to get out there and educate, to help people experience the fear and learn how to handle it. Because this is about freedom. As Adam said, historically, hemp has been the backbone of our country. It is time now to educate and stop the fear and return hemp to the people. Say hi! Say it again! Say it again! What are we gonna do? Educate! Say it! Educate! Stop the fear! Stop the fear! Say it! Stop the fear! Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Let hemp grow. Help hemp grow. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Is there anybody else that wants to say anything? Because I'll sit up here all day and talk about how important this is to all of you. All right, so thank you again from the MASS Hemp Coalition, from Cannabis Community Care and Research Network, from NOSHA, from all of the farmers, from all of the cultivators, from all of the processors, from the consumers, for everybody that wants this as a part of their life. I want to say thank you. And if you want to get involved, please find us as MASS Hemp Coalition on Facebook. We'll be pushing that out more on Cannabis Community Care and Research Network. Next Thursday, we're having a fundraiser at the Merrimack Country Club. This Thursday, we're having a fundraiser at the Merrimack Valley Country Club in Methuen, Massachusetts. If you can donate anything to this cause, we're all doing this on our own volition. These people's livelihoods are on the line here, and so we want to make sure that this does not happen. So thank you so much. Let him grow.